Guyana Defense Force confirms fuel pilfering incident. Swift disciplinary measures taken. The Guyana Defense Force, GDF, has confirmed the authenticity of a recently circulated video on social media depicting one of its ranks illicitly removing fuel from a service vehicle near a military installation. This video, initially intended as evidence of the act, was unfortunately shared publicly. The GDF is addressing this matter with appropriate disciplinary actions. The incident was detected thanks to the GDF's newly implemented electronic vehicle tracking system, designed to enhance accountability and optimize the management of defense assets. The tracking system flagged an irregularity, which led to an on-site interception by a superior officer who witnessed the rank's illicit actions firsthand. The GDF is treating this interception as a validation of the new accountability protocols introduced over the past year and remains committed to deploying advanced technologies that uphold and reinforce asset management and integrity within the force. The GDF reiterates its dedication to enforcing high standards of integrity and professionalism within its ranks, ensuring that any misconduct is promptly addressed. Furthermore, the force recognizes and appreciates the sacrifices and commitment of its officers and ranks who serve the nation with distinction and integrity. Quick response from Linden Fire Station contained stall fire at CoOp Crescent. The Linden Fire Station received a report of a fire at CoOp Crescent, Mackenzie, at 2:14 p.m. on Thursday. 2 firefighting units were immediately dispatched, arriving on scene within 2 minutes to find a blaze consuming a small clothing business stall. Thanks to the rapid response, firefighters managed to bring the fire under control and fully extinguish it, successfully preventing damage to nearby buildings. Initial reports suggest that the fire may have originated from unattended garbage burning nearby. An investigation is ongoing to confirm the cause and gather further details. The fire service urges the public to avoid leaving fires unattended to prevent such incidents in the future. Attempted murder case against Marlon Wilberg, withdrawn as 6-year-old victim, remains in critical condition. In a hearing on Wednesday, the attempted murder charge against Marlon Wilberg, also known as Mice Man, accused of the shooting of 6-year-old Jeremiah Gustav, was officially withdrawn. The case withdrawal followed instructions issued by the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions, DPP, according to Police Prosecutor Williams. The shooting occurred on July 9, 2024, when young Jeremiah was injured in the head by a bullet during an alleged altercation at Charles Street, Charlestown, Georgetown. The child, currently in critical condition, has been hospitalized at the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation, GPHC, for 3 months, undergoing multiple surgeries while remaining unable to move unaided or receive regular nutrition. Wilburg, initially remanded on July 29, reportedly confessed during police questioning but was later withdrawn from prosecution as per the DPP's instructions. His co-accused, Odell Garnett, who also claims innocence, remains in custody, with further proceedings scheduled for November 6, 2024. Jeremiah's mother, Keisha Gustav, visibly distressed at the hearing, expressed disappointment over the case's outcome. Additionally, she voiced concerns about her son's education, expressing hope for his recovery amidst the life-altering toll the incident has taken on her family. Court of Appeal reduces sentences of men convicted in 2007 murder case. Big Smith News Watch. The Court of Appeal has significantly reduced the sentences of 2 men convicted in the 2007 murder of Colleen Forrester, whose decomposing body was discovered in a septic tank at her home in Campbellville, Georgetown. Anthony Hope, known as Papa, and Ralph Tyndall, called Nick, were initially sentenced to 62 years and 55 years respectively by Justice Roxanne George, S.C., following their conviction by a jury in 2015. At that time, Justice George ordered that Hope be eligible for parole only after serving 40 years, while Tyndall could apply for parole after 25 years. The case garnered public attention due to the brutal nature of the crime. Forrester, a 56-year-old caretaker and aunt to Hope, was reported missing before her body was discovered. Evidence presented during the trial indicated that Hope and Tyndall had brutally beaten Forrester to death before concealing her body in the septic tank of the property. A third man, Kevin O'Neill, was acquitted of all charges after his lawyers successfully argued that he was a bystander rather than an active participant in the crime. Following their conviction, Hope and Tyndall appealed both the verdict and the sentences, claiming bias in the trial judge's summation and inadequate representation of their defenses. They further contended that the original sentences were excessively punitive and did not take into account their potential for rehabilitation. In a unanimous decision delivered on Wednesday, Chancellor of the Judiciary Justice Yannette Cummings Edwards acknowledged that the appellate court found no merit in the men's arguments against their convictions, resulting in the dismissal of their appeal on that front. However, the court allowed the appeal on sentencing, adjusting their prison terms in line with sentencing principles established by the Caribbean Court of Justice, CCJ. As a result, Hope's sentence was reduced to 37 years and Tyndall's to 32 years, with credit for pretrial custody. Parole eligibility will follow the standards set by the CCJ, referencing a recent case that established a 30-year term with a 15-year minimum for parole eligibility. The appellate panel included Chancellor Cummings Edwards, Justices Dawn Gregory Barnes, and Rishi Persad. The state was represented by Assistant Director of Public Prosecutions Diana Cowell-O'Brien, while Tyndall and Hope were represented by attorneys Ronald Daniels and Nigel Hughes, and Melvin Duke, respectively. Tragic incident involving 6-year-old at school under investigation. News source Guyana. A tragic incident occurred earlier this month at a private primary school in Crane, where 6-year-old Mackay Rodriguez lost his life after swallowing a thumbtack during class on October 29. The incident has raised concerns from the family regarding the teacher's response to Mackay's cries for help. According to family members, Mackay was seen in surveillance footage walking up to his teacher while displaying signs of distress and difficulty breathing. The family claims that the teacher initially directed him back to his seat. Mackay reportedly returned a second time, visibly shaken and holding his water bottle, yet he was again instructed to sit down. It was not until he was later found struggling to breathe and unconscious that the teacher responded, and he was rushed to the West Demerara Hospital. Unfortunately, doctors were unable to revive him, and he was pronounced dead shortly after arrival. The school has since provided video evidence indicating that the teacher did offer assistance when Mackay approached her. The footage reportedly shows the teacher leaving her desk to help the boy and subsequently seeking aid from other staff members to transport him to the hospital. The Ministry of Education has been notified of the incident and is currently conducting an investigation through its welfare department. The family remains distraught, emphasizing that they believe the teacher should have taken more immediate action when Mackay first approached her for help. The school community is mourning the loss of young Mackay, and further inquiries into the circumstances surrounding this heartbreaking event are ongoing. Enmore man victimized in alleged case of mistaken identity. Qaeda News. Tola Rampersad, a 31-year-old resident of Enmore, East Coast Demerara, became the victim of a brutal assault on Sunday, allegedly due to mistaken identity. Rampersad was abducted from his home and severely beaten by a group of 6 men who accused him of theft. The alarming incident unfolded around 4 a.m. when Rampersad and a friend were returning home from a birthday party in Hope West, Enmore. According to Rampersad, a gray car approached them, and the occupants confronted them, accusing them of being thieves. In a heated exchange, Rampersad attempted to defend himself, insisting that they had attended a party and were not involved in any criminal activity. As the confrontation escalated, Rampersad reported that one of the men unleashed a pit bulldog on him and his friend. During the chaos, the assailants attempted to run him over with the car, prompting him to throw a steel bar at the vehicle in self-defense. In the ensuing confusion, Rampersad lost sight of his friend and sought refuge in nearby bushes until daybreak. At approximately 6 a.m., Rampersad returned home to inform his parents about the attack. However, shortly thereafter, the assailants invaded his home, breaking down the bathroom door and dragging him out in front of his family. They forced him into a car, where they continued to assault him for around 20 minutes before police officers from the Enmore outpost arrived to rescue him. Rampersad's father played a crucial role in securing assistance, as he left his home in a desperate attempt to reach the police. "I had to leave the scene while they were beating my son and drive to the Enmore outpost in just my underwear to get help," he stated. Upon the police's arrival, the assailants fled, but 2 individuals, identified as the driver of the car and his brother, were apprehended. Reports indicate that one of the captured men managed to escape from the police outpost shortly thereafter. Rampersad stated that he does not know any of the assailants, who reportedly accused him of theft during the assault. Authorities have confirmed that investigations are ongoing, with some of the suspects believed to be from Mon Repos. Rampersad and his family are demanding justice and are fearful for their safety following this traumatic event. DPP orders inquest into fatal accident of Tucville man. The Director of Public Prosecutions, DPP, has mandated the Guyana Police Force to conduct an inquest into the tragic death of 27-year-old Jonathan Gomez, who died in an accident involving a sand truck 5 months ago. According to the Corporate Communications Unit, CCU, of the Guyana Police Force, the investigation into the fatal incident, which took place on May 24, was completed in July. Following the investigation, legal advice was sought, which led to the decision for an inquest into the circumstances surrounding Gomez's death. An inquest is a public inquiry designed to ascertain the facts related to a death, including the identity of the deceased, the cause of death, and the surrounding circumstances. This inquest will be overseen by a magistrate in the Mahayakoni Division, where the accident occurred. While the date for the inquest has yet to be scheduled, authorities in Regional Division 5 will coordinate with the magistrate to arrange the proceedings. The inquest will be conducted under the Coroner's Act, enabling the magistrate to call witnesses and examine evidence to determine the cause of death. On the day of the accident, Gomez was driving a motor car with registration number PVV 3618, owned by Audrey Gomez of Canary Street, Tucville. He collided with a lorry, registered as GSS 6980, owned by Danny Katraya of Bath, Mahayakoni, and driven by Audit Ramdeen of Airy Hall, Mahayakoni. Initial police investigations indicated that the lorry was traveling east along the northern side of the road, while Gomez's car was heading west on the southern side. Reports suggest that Gomez overtook several vehicles at high speed around a right bend, leading to the car veering into the lorry's path. Despite Ramdeen's efforts to avoid the collision by steering onto the northern parapet, Gomez's vehicle struck the front of the lorry and subsequently collided with a utility pole. Gomez sustained severe injuries and was extracted from the wreckage in an unconscious state by bystanders. He was placed in a police vehicle for transport to the Mahayakoni Cottage Hospital, where he was pronounced dead on arrival. Ramdeen also received medical treatment following the incident. The ongoing inquest will seek to provide clarity and accountability regarding this tragic event. Election fraud trial to resume on November 6 with new chief magistrate. The election fraud trial in Guyana is set to resume on November 6, 2024, with Chief Magistrate Faith McGusty presiding, following a handover from Senior Magistrate Laron Daly. The case, involving multiple defendants and stemming from the 2020 elections, has seen delays due to scheduling conflicts and the absence of key participants. Chief Magistrate McGusty announced the new date after it was disclosed that several individuals crucial to the trial, including Local Government Minister Sonia Parag, Special Prosecutor Darshan Ramdhani, and Defense Counsel UC Anderson, were out of the jurisdiction and unable to attend. While it was the preference of Chancellor of the Judiciary, Yannette Cummings Edwards, to proceed today, it was agreed by all parties that reconvening on November 6 at 2 p.m. would ensure a smoother trial process. The November 6 resumption will feature a case management hearing, where the prosecution and defense teams will outline the procedural approach moving forward. This step is essential for ensuring an efficient, fair trial as the new magistrate steps into the proceedings. This case is closely watched, with defendants including prominent figures such as Volda Lawrence, Keith Lowenfield, Claremont Mingo, and others accused of involvement in alleged electoral misconduct during the 2020 elections. Restart of elections fraud trial set with new magistrate. VP Jagdeo is worried about compromising of the evidence. The much-anticipated elections fraud trial, centered on alleged attempts to manipulate the results of Guyana's March 2020 general and regional elections, is now scheduled to restart. The trial has been assigned to Chief Magistrate, Acting, Faith McGusty, following a successful case transfer on Friday. This change comes after a series of delays, attributed in part to the health issues of the previously presiding magistrate, Laron Daly. The governing People's Progressive Party, PPP, has expressed growing concern regarding the delays, with Vice President Dr. Barrett Jagdeo questioning the slow pace of judicial proceedings. "Yes, I am worried about the compromising of the evidence," Jagdeo commented at his press briefing on Wednesday at Freedom House, Georgetown. "The judiciary must ensure that these matters move with some pace. We just want to get on with the trial," he said, emphasizing the need for accountability in light of evidence from a Commission of Inquiry, COI, indicating attempts by certain individuals to interfere with the electoral process. Attorney General Anil Nandlal also commented on the restart of the trial during his Issues in the News commentary, affirming that the new assignment of the case to Chief Magistrate McGusty will facilitate resuming the proceedings on a renewed timeline. The shift, however, will require the trial to begin anew, with both the prosecution and defense preparing to present their cases from the start. The PPP remains committed to seeing the trial proceed efficiently, ensuring transparency and accountability for the people of Guyana. 3 men acquitted of murder in the death of Trevor Allen. Big Smith News Watch. In a significant ruling, 3 men accused of the brutal killing of 20-year-old Trevor Allen from Purika Facade, East Bank Essequibo, have been found not guilty of both murder and manslaughter by a jury at the Demerara High Court. Justice Joe and Barlow presided over the trial, where the jury delivered their verdict on Wednesday, clearing Navindra Sugram, 21, Chaitram Persad, 26, and Ishwar Sukteo, 29, of all charges related to the fatal incident that occurred on October 31, 2021. At the time of the incident, all three defendants resided in the same community as the victim. The charges stemmed from a night out where Alan was drinking with his brothers at a local shop when an argument broke out with another individual, leading to a violent confrontation. According to initial police reports, the situation escalated when Sugrim, Persaud, and Jagdeo allegedly arrived armed with cutlasses and knives, resulting in a fatal assault on Alan. Witnesses recounted a harrowing scene as Alan was repeatedly stabbed, suffering 5 wounds to his abdomen and a severe chop to his forehead. During the attack, Alan's brother, Harvey, attempted to intervene but was also injured. He fled to a nearby canal for safety and witnessed the attack unfold from there. Additionally, another suspect involved in the murder, who had been evading arrest, tragically took his own life by ingesting a poisonous substance.